Today we're tackling a figure so monumental that history basically just started calling him El-Sheikh al-Akbar, the greatest master.
Yeah,
We're talking about the 12th century mystic, Muhyiddin ibn Arabi.
it's a heavy title, but
Mhm.
we look through these sources, he really earned it. We're dealing with a man who basically built a philosophical bridge from Moorish Spain all the way to the Islamic East.
And our mission for this deep dive is to see if we can decode his unity of being. It's a concept that sounds so beautiful, but it gets complicated fast.
It does. And we also have to look at why his religion of love still gets people so fired up both for and against him, even 800 years later.
So to understand the ideas, you have to track his life, his movement.
Exactly. He was born in 1165 in Murcia, which is now modern-day Spain.
Yeah,
But he was always a bit of an outlier. While all his peers were, grinding away at law books,
right.
Ibn Arabi was having these incredibly intense visionary experiences as a teenager.
The sources say he was tapping into the unseen realm before he even had a formal teacher. But the real catalyst was a vision he had in 1198.
That was the one, the command to go east. He left Spain, and he never looked back. That pilgrimage to Mecca was the engine for his writing.
And for his most famous work, the Futuhat al-Makkiyah, the Meccan Revelations.
Which he claimed was a divine dictation he received while circling the Kaaba.
Dictation is putting it lightly. That book is a massive, sprawling encyclopedia of spiritual knowledge. And then there's the Fusus al-Hikam, Bezels of Wisdom.
Which is like the concentrated espresso shot of his entire philosophy.
And that's where we really find the core of it, Wadat al-Wujud.
Right. Now, Ibn Arabi himself didn't actually coin that exact phrase. His followers did, to sort of sum up his worldview. It translates to the unity of being.
The sources have a great analogy to keep this from getting too abstract.
The sun and the earth.
Exactly. The cosmos is like the earth, and it borrows its light from the sun. It isn't the sun itself, but it has no light without it.
That distinction is so important. It creates this paradox he calls huwala huwa.
He, not he.
Yeah. From one angle, the created is just a reflection of the creator. But from another, it's distinct.
I really like the water in the cup metaphor for this. It explains the diversity we see.
It's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Being, or God, is like colorless water. But if you pour that water into, say, a red cup,
The water looks red.
the water looks red. The essence is the same, but the form, the receptacle, gives it a specific quality.
And those forms are what he calls tajalliyat, or manifestations. The divine is one, but it shows itself in infinite ways.
And this is where the human being comes into the picture. Because for him, we aren't just another cup on the shelf.
This is the idea of al-insan al-kamil, the perfect human. He does this little linguistic play here, right? With the word insan.
He does. It means human, but it also refers to the pupil of the eye. His argument is that the universe was like an unpolished mirror. It existed.
But it couldn't reflect anything clearly.
Precisely. It couldn't reflect God's attributes. Humans are the polish on that mirror. We are the pupil through which the divine sees its own creation.
That gives humanity a terrifyingly high status. And he connects this all through what he calls khayal, or imagination.
And we have to be really clear here for you listening. He doesn't mean make-believe or fantasy.
No, not at all.
In his system, imagination is an objective layer of reality. A barzakh, he calls it. An isthmus, a bridge. It's where spiritual meanings take on a physical shape, like in a dream, and where bodies can become spiritualized.
And that fluidity, that bridge, explains his whole stance on religion, which, of course, is where things get really controversial.
In his poetry, Tarjuman al-Ashwaq, he has that famous line.
My heart has become capable of every form. I follow the religion of love.
It sounds incredibly modern. He's basically suggesting that since everything is a reflection of God, one of those tajalliyat, then all beliefs are just valid reflections of different divine aspects.
But you can see why the theologians panicked. We have the critique from the famous scholar Ibn Taymiyyah in our source.
Yeah. Ibn Taymiyyah's argument is very logical. He worried that if you blur the line between the creator and the created that much, you end up with pantheism.
Where God is just everything, nature.
Right. And if everything is God, what happens to religious law? To responsibility? Why follow any rules if the sinner and the saint are both just manifestations?
It's that ultimate tension. The mystic sees unity everywhere, and the jurist needs to draw clear boundaries.
And that's what makes him so endlessly fascinating. He's blending this really rigorous metaphysics with pure poetic intuition.
It leaves us with a pretty heavy question about our own agency, our own will.
It does. He suggests that our will, what we choose to do, is just our immutable archetype playing out in time.
Meaning we only will what we eternally are in God's knowledge. So if you're simply acting out a script that was written in your very essence before time even began, does that redefine what it means to be free? Something to sit with. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.